Welcome to the saaspocalypse. VCs are scared, founders are worried, sales are stale, predictions of markets, valuations questionable. How to survive? We ask ourselves the same question every day, and we reach the conclusion that the only way to survive the saaspocalypse is to become a SaaS executioners ourselves, to save the budget of our startup for growth instead of paying so-called sticky SaaS for their services and value. Used to believe UI was the moat. Big mistake. UI is why you are losing. And in this video, I'm just going to show you how we killed Relay app, which was a layer of webhooks. You can call it a modern form of Zapier built for the AI age, but I can tell you that Claude Code already kills it completely. Stay with me, learn how to kill SaaS, so you know how to protect yours from the saaspocalypse. What is Relay app? I'll show the website. Maybe it's a free advertisement for them. It's good for small businesses. It's good for businesses that want to use a form of Zapier to connect between their endpoints. We had the same need when we started growing. Now it simply grows too much that I'm not willing to pay a retainer for API calls to such a company. Just because as our business grows, the amount of calls we need to generate through those services grows with it. And it makes no sense, especially if we could do it with AI. Here is a sketch of the architecture that we have with them. We will see. Brevo is the email provider similar to MailChimp. Slack notifications that we use to get notified when people upgrade, downgrade, or sign up to our platform. And Stripe to send metadata across the board. That basically was the layer. There were 5 webhooks. The biggest challenge was that this is not an easy SaaS to kill. And this is where you need to keep your attention with me. You see, the problem is that asking our development team, instead of developing features for our customers, to develop these kind of automations and flows for user creations or sending data to the CRM seems invaluable. And this is something that you don't want to waste your time doing. And so that's why we went for a solution like Relay app. The quickest and easiest solutions we had is to set this Relay app to fire those webhooks, automate all of the contact creation, save them to the CRM, save them to mailing lists, notify us on Slack. This was easy. But actually to unplug it and do it ourselves would cause us a lot of developer work, which I preferred to build the startup with and not to develop this kind of thing. This was true until our startup started growing at a rate that exceeds the amount of calls that we can get on a cheap package with Relay, and that's why I had to kill it, and that's what we did. The problem was that the challenge was bigger than I thought. I entered the UI and I saw, oh my God, there's a lot of information I'm going to have to talk to Claude Code about. How am I going to do all of this without spending days, maybe weeks, not mentioning how to test it afterwards? I had this craziest idea. What if I would record a session with my product co-founder Vlad, and we would talk to Claude step by step, take screenshots of the actual workflows from the Relay app UI, and explain to Claude, like an engineer, step by step, what each one of those automations was doing and how we could build it. The call took 52 minutes, and we let Claude digest all of it. The next step I did was get it into plan mode, create mermaid charts of every flow, and print out a detailed plan for me in an HTML file that I could review. I gave that to Vlad. Vlad gave the feedback back to me. I gave it back to Claude. And 2 days of work later, we already had a version with a few bugs. I needed to close the loop cycle, so I asked Claude what it needed to make the whole tests end-to-end itself. Granted it access, and Relay app was dead. Replaced with Cloud Functions by Google Cloud Platform. Gives you the static IP for webhooks that you need. Does exactly the same, cost pennies, the subscription is dead. And that's how we killed Relay app. What's my advice to you? The market is changing extremely fast. People are dumping the UI in favor of working with an agent. Agents are becoming extremely smart, so even building your own agent doesn't make much sense. What you need to do is to allow the agents to use your platform. So what is your moat, you ask? Well, that's your proprietary dataset that you need to accumulate. And this changes on a basis of what your business is. I cannot answer this question for you. What I can tell you is understand that your UI is no longer the moat. Nobody cares about your UI. People care about the problems that your business solves. If you can solve a good business problem, you have the right to live. And if not, you will perish in the saaspocalypse like everybody else. So how to prepare for it? Start killing the SaaS that you already have leeching on your current run rate. Replace them with Claude Code. Learn how it works. Listen to your customers. They are already asking for access. And for those of you that tell me, if you let them API access or you give them CLI or MCP, you are actually doing a mistake, they will break free from your SaaS. You got it all the other way around. They are already free from your SaaS. You need to give them the reasons to stay. Good luck.